in high definition. This is KOIN Local 6 News at 6.
I didn't do anything illegal. I don't believe I was impaired.
He was arrested in the past for suspicion of drunk driving. Now Steve Marks is the governor's latest appointment to run the Oregon Liquor Control Commission. So is he the right choice? At 6 o'clock, I'm Jeff Gianola. Kelly is off tonight. And here are the facts in this case. Steve Marks was stopped back in 2010 by a state trooper along I-5 in Tualatin for speeding. When the officer tested him, he blew a .05, which is right below the legal limit. So Marks was not charged, but does that mean Marks is the right man for the job at the Oregon Liquor Control Commission, the man who would head it up? Well, Lisa Balick spent the day getting answers, and she asked some tough questions. Lisa?
Jeff, Steve Marks was Governor Kitzhaber's right-hand man for many years in politics, including as his chief of staff. Now, the police report states that Marks initially denied drinking when he was pulled over by that officer, but he told me today that he had been drinking earlier that day.
Driving at a high rate of speed, I was speeding.
Steve Marks admits he was doing about 80 miles an hour on I-5 when a state trooper stopped him.
After the officer pulled me over, he cited me and released. He had taken some suspicion that I'd been drinking.
He was arrested and taken to a police field office. His blood alcohol test .05, below the legal limit. Even though he was arrested and his car towed, there were no charges filed. Mark says he told the OLCC commissioners who hired him about this, and the governor's staff as well.
Given the experience, do you think you're the best person to run this agency?
I do think I'm the best person.
I was the one who went and recruited Steve.
This is OLCC Chairman Rob Patridge, who is also the Klamath County District Attorney.
I haven't had one person step forward and say Steve Marks is unfit to lead. He's not.
But is he the best choice based on the Liquor Control Commission and the issue of drinking?
Absolutely. I think Steve is the best choice.
But some are questioning the choice in light of previous troubles at the agency. In 2006, the director back then was convicted of a DUI and stepped down. The current commission chair believes Mark's arrest is different.
He didn't need to step forward for some potential public scrutiny. To me, this is an issue that's irrelevant in terms of what goes on.
I didn't do anything illegal. I don't believe I was impaired.
Now, the top job at the OLCC pays more than $140,000 a year. Again, Marks was cited, he was arrested, but he was never charged in this case. And he told me when I asked, he has never been arrested before that, and he has never been arrested since. Live in Southeast Portland, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
We're always investigating, so if there's something you want us to look into, just click on the Report It tab on KOIN.com. Now, some breaking news, and take a look at your television screen. Police have issued an Amber Alert for an hours-old infant believed to be with this woman, 20-year-old Jamie Martini. They're missing from Mill Creek, Washington. That's a community just north of Seattle. Police are especially concerned because the baby was just born this morning. It was a home birth. And we're told the infant, a little girl, does have a life-threatening medical condition. Again, an Amber Alert issued out of Mill City, Washington for a newborn baby. Her name, Annabelle. This is her mother, Jamie Martini. Anyone with information should call 911 immediately. A Lake Oswego mother who hit and seriously hurt a Portland bicyclist could spend 21 years in prison. Miriam Clinton was in court today admitting she was drunk during the incident. She's also owning up to the fact that right after the accident, she refused to stop. Now, that crash left Henry Schmidt with broken bones and a ruptured spleen. Prosecutors say as part of this plea deal, Clinton is agreeing to just over 3 years in prison, but could face a total of 21 years if the judge wants to impose more time.
In other words, you're taking a chance about how this turns out for you if you plead guilty. Do you understand that?
She will be given a chance to make a statement to the judge at another court date set in November. Friends and family of a murdered Gresham mother gathered this afternoon to celebrate her life. Police say Jessie Cavett was killed by her estranged husband 2 weeks ago. Today, she was remembered as caring, fun, and a great mom. She worked as an instructor at the Bella Institute of Cosmetology, and co-workers helped organize tonight's celebration. They've also stepped up to raise money for her 2 daughters she leaves behind. KOIN follows up now on a local family who discovered the wrong body in the casket during their father's funeral. Now, earlier this week, we heard from Jerry Moon's family, and now the other family affected is telling their side of the story. Drew Mickelson has more.
Helen Lucille and Bob Petitclerc were married for nearly 50 years.
And Mom was she couldn't hardly talk over the phone.
Days after Bob, who was 96, died earlier this month, his stepson got a frantic call at his Rainier, Oregon home from his mother.
Stunned, really, to begin with, and then naturally angry.
Monday in Chehalis at Brown Mortuary Service, Petitclerc, who didn't want a funeral and who had requested to be cremated, was inside a casket at a memorial service for a man named Jerry Moon.
It makes me most angry because my dad was in that coffin dressed in somebody else's clothes, and to me that's very demeaning of him.
It's still not clear who is to blame. Both men died on the same day at a hospice in Longview. The state is now investigating the 2 funeral homes that handled the remains. Brown Mortuary in Chehalis says they are sorry for the family's loss and are re-examining policies and procedures, but have not taken responsibility for the mix-up. They got Petitclerc's remains from Dahl McVicker Funeral Homes in Kelso. Dahl McVicker, a business already under a separate financial investigation with the state, has not returned our calls.
Now, Jerry Moon, the other deceased person involved in this mix-up, told his family before he died that he did not want to be cremated. But that is exactly what happened to him. We'll continue to follow this story. We have been lucky so far this October with dry, sunny weather, but it looks like that's about to change. I say it changed this morning, Bruce. What happened?
Yeah, no doubt. We just could not get through the clouds. They were stuck. And so I've had a lot of people saying, was that it? Are we just out of sun? Well, here's your sunshine forecast for this weekend. And yeah, if you're in the I-5 corridor, sun is going to be tough to find. The Cascades, cloudy down low, but it's beautiful and sunny up above the passes. And Central Oregon, you can have sunny skies all weekend if that's where you are headed or where you are. So at least there's some sun around here because we don't have any storm systems to speak of. Another place you could go for sun is the eastern half of the gorge. It's one of those weekends where you leave, you're driving through the western half, maybe it's drizzle, it's cloudy, and all of a sudden you get around Hood River, the sun starts to come out, and it's gorgeous as you go over toward the Dalles. I'm back in a few minutes, and I will have your complete weekend forecast.
Still ahead, the man accused of killing a 15-year-old at a Portland Mac station has his day in court, and we talked to that boy's family about what they say was a senseless crime. Plus,
my wife and I actually call this place the ghetto.
Neighbors push for action on a burned, abandoned building they say is an eyesore on their street. Right now, a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations has been shot in Roseville, California. That's outside of Sacramento. So you're looking at a live picture right now. SWAT officers reportedly have the shooter cornered in a home there. That agent was taken to the hospital. The extent of the agent's injuries unknown. Once again, you're looking at a live picture. A special agent with Homeland Security Investigations has been shot in Roseville, California. Now, that's right outside of Sacramento. So this is a story we'll continue to follow. They have the shooter cornered right now. An abandoned building that neighbors say is nothing more than a drug house catches fire for the second time in Northeast Portland. Our morning anchor Alicia Esch has more from concerned neighbors who now want that building torn down.
This is the house that neighbors living around Northeast 100th Avenue want to see demolished. Firefighters responded to a call to the structure this week, and they put out the flames, but it's too dangerous for them to go inside to determine a cause. Nevertheless, neighbors say they are well aware of what's going on in here, and they want it stopped.
My wife and I actually call this place the ghetto.
Marty Phipps has lived in this neighborhood for years. And he says this house is not only an eyesore, it's also a dangerous drug house, bringing the whole neighborhood down.
It's unclean, it's unsafe, it's unhealthy.
Marty says he has called the police about drug activity in and around this house several times. He says they've responded, but as long as the building stands, the problem that goes along with it will as well.
Police trying to patrol, you see the people coming through. The alleyway is just a regular little heaven of all the time. People walking back and forth, coming to sneak in the homes.
Marty says that kind of activity happens day and night, and it's forced him to increase security around his own home.
We've actually put plastic in front of our fence. We're growing the bushes up, trying to block out what we have to watch over there, because it's just all the time.
Marty says his solution to this issue is simple.
I like to see this house, the house on 99th level, and the owner is held accountable.
And we started digging into all of this. We looked at public records, and we found the owner is Gateway Area Apartments LLC, but so far we've been unable to contact them. I am told, though, that the fire investigators have this information as well. We're going to stay right on top of this story for you and let you know what happens going forward. Alicia Esch, KOIN 6 News.
The decision to release an 11-year-old Vancouver boy who police say brought a gun to his middle school has now been delayed. He's going to remain in police custody until at least next Tuesday. That sixth grader is accused of bringing gun, knives, hundreds of rounds of ammunition to Frontier Middle School earlier this week. According to an affidavit, he heard voices in his head telling him to shoot another student who had been bullying his friend. Then he was going to shoot himself. Now, his attorney recommended he be put under house arrest with alarms on the doors. The boy does have a history of leaving his house at night to wander around.
Any time that the child is purportedly having left the home, especially a child of his age, there's concerns for the child. And so at this particular time, we want to address that and make that not an issue for the community to be worried about.
The boy has been expelled from school. His attorney would not tell us how he got the gun and ammunition. The man accused of murdering a 15-year-old earlier this month at the Holgate Mac station made his first court appearance today. Silvano Velasquez faces murder, attempted murder, and weapons charges in the deadly shooting of Abakar Mahdi. Homicide detectives say that shooting was gang-related, but the victim's cousin says it was simply senseless.
He was very tall for his age. He liked to hoop. He's very loved. He's very nice. He went to Franklin. He was just going to transfer to my school.
Now, there was a 22-year-old man who was also hurt in the shooting. Family says he was trying to help Maddie and ended up being shot himself, but survived. Fires have hit 3 different Oregon hazelnut plants in just the past week, and there were 2 fires today. One happened in one of the dryers at the Oregon hazelnut growers in Cornelius. Workers put it out before firefighters arrived. The only damage is to the nuts. The building is fine. In Kaiser, 200,000 pounds of hazelnuts were destroyed in a fire sparked by a mechanical problem. And it was just last weekend a Salem hazelnut plant lost 200 tons of nuts in a fire. According to the USDA, Oregon makes up 99% of all hazelnuts grown in the country. The campers have now been evicted from under I-205 at Flavel in southeast Portland, and now landscaping has begun. ODOT crews have now placed boulders where the campers once slept in an effort to keep squatters away. They also plan to install a fence to protect Johnson Creek from more environmental damage. Our neighbors say the camp had been an eyesore for years, and they blame it for a spike in crime. Well, sometimes the old way of doing things is really the easiest. Oregon's new health insurance exchange is getting nearly twice as many applications on paper compared to the electronic website. Now, the marketplace has received more than 4,200 paper applications and nearly 2,500 electronic ones. The website has received more than 470,000 unique website visitors, and the Cover Oregon office has gotten more than 20,000 phone calls. You know, Oregon has an estimated 600,000 people who lack health insurance. Cover Oregon officials hope to have the website fully functional by the end of the month. More than 8,000 people applying for health insurance through Washington State's new exchange have incorrectly qualified for higher tax credits because of a system error. The problem was discovered this week and traced to a difference in file formats that were being shared between the state's exchange and federal data. No payments really have been processed, and affected applicants are now being notified. It's a nationwide crackdown on prescription drug abuse. Portland Police and other bureaus around the country are asking you to turn in your unused or expired prescriptions tomorrow so they don't fall into the wrong hands. They'll be set up at the Southeast Portland substation on East Burnside from 10 until 2, and you don't have to give any information, just drop it off. And it's going to be a busy Saturday on I-5. Both OSU and U of O have home football games. An estimated 30,000 additional vehicles are on I-5 when both schools do have their home games. ODOT and OSP want you to be safe, so leave early, be patient, and always have a designated sober driver. Will you need a raincoat? Bruce has the game day forecast.
Now, the forecast with KOIN 6 Chief Meteorologist Bruce Sussman.
Yeah, if you're going down early in the morning for the Ducks game or ESPN game day, you know, you might need the fog lights at times for your drive down, plus some drizzle around. Then I think by the time we get going with the game in the afternoon, it should be just mostly cloudy, but chilly the entire time and just mainly gray. Meanwhile, for the Beavers, it's an evening game hosting Stanford. Mid-50s at kickoff, into the 40s before the game is done, and a better chance for some scattered drizzle to redevelop before the end of the game. So a chilly couple of football games, but at least they're not all out soakers because we don't have any steady rain or anything nearby. Our 24-hour forecast for tonight takes us slowly through the 50s. By 9 o'clock, we're down to 51. We're at 49 at 11 o'clock, and areas of drizzle starting to redevelop. Tomorrow morning, we'll have the fog. We'll have low clouds most places, and then we'll also have some patchy drizzle around in the morning. 51 at lunchtime and 58 at 5. So I don't know about you. I had trouble warming up today because our weather never did, and I think we're kind of stuck in that pattern for a while. Here's a live look outside right now from our KOIN Tower camera. I love the high rises in the south waterfront and some of the folks cruising I-5. You can see it clearly from our building in downtown. 55 degrees is the current temperature right now. It's 53 in Beaverton. A live look at the lights at Canyon Road in 217, and gosh, it just is getting darker every night. Sunset tonight was at 6:07, so we're done. It's gone for the day. All right, cloudy skies ruled the roost, as we know, here in the valley. We had some clearing along the coast, but found sunshine. If you go to the Cascades and points east, it was sunny all day today. So we're socked in here in the valley. What does that mean for our game of the week or a Friday night football game you might be going to? Drizzle is possible later this evening, so just plan for that. But most of the time, it's just going to be one of those chilly nights where if you dress in layers, you'll be happy you did. KOIN 6 News at 11 will have all the Blitz highlights. Dan will be here for that. Always love Friday night football. All right, so you can tell where it was cool and cloudy all day, except the coast finally cleared out late in the day. Astoria got 60 degrees as a result, and then we had sunshine all day east of the mountains, and what a temperature difference. Our forecast for tomorrow, socked in here a good chunk of the day. Along the coast, it'll be cloudy, cool, and drizzly, and then maybe some pockets of clearing in the afternoon like we had today. Big picture on rain, high pressure still blocking it, and so our dry stretch other than drizzle continues. Now for the coast tomorrow, it will be drizzly at times. A little better clearing opportunities Sunday afternoon. For the Gorge, west end, cloudy, drizzly at times. East end, sunny and beautiful. So just kind of pick the kind of weather you want. The Cascades, gorgeous this weekend. If you do drive up to Government Camp tomorrow or Sunday and it's still kind of cloudy, just drive right on up to Timberline. I am sure you'll be above the fog and low clouds at that point, but I think the passes most likely will also be above them. In Central Oregon, wow, this is the place to be if you want to wear your shades and feel like our sunshine is still going on. The 7-day forecast, it is a chilly one going forward here, but the sun comes back out on Monday. That's when we get a breezy and cool day. Same thing on Tuesday. Thursday. Maybe some frost this week, too. We'll see about that. Right now on Halloween, there's a disturbance getting close to us, Jeff. You know, we could get some raindrops from it, but right now it's not definite enough, in my opinion, to put it in the forecast. Definitely more clouds, though.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. Well, still to come, hundreds of chickens in need of new homes, why they were rescued, and how you can give them a second chance.
It is still a very congested commute on I-5 northbound. It's jam-packed through North Portland, past Marine Drive here up to the Interstate Bridge. And southbound traffic is lined up from 217 down to Wilsonville, so it's still going to take you a long time to get to Wilsonville. I-5 just south of I-205. You can see some of that southbound slowing. I-84 is starting to pick up, though, in the eastbound direction out to I-205. It looks great at 82nd. Highway 26 has slowing from Sylvan to I-405. You're looking at 217. This is at at 99W, where there's a southbound and northbound delay. Southbound traffic is backed up to Canyon at the moment. And here's I-205. There's still plenty of northbound slowing leading up to the Glen Jackson Bridge. Jeff?
Thank you, Carly. New at 11 tonight, a local school district just decided to allow guns in the classroom. Why teachers are now allowed to carry weapons and how parents feel about this new policy. That's tonight at 11. Well, hundreds of chickens who've spent their lives inside small wire cages on a factory egg farm get a second chance at life thanks to a local animal sanctuary. The birds are headed for a new home in Scio. They'll be living out there for a few days at Lighthouse Farm Sanctuary. And then happening tomorrow, you'll have a chance to adopt the hens. So if you're interested, you need to fill out an application and bring a picture of your chicken coop. They want to make sure the birds have lots of room to move around. Time to pick our big game for the KOIN 6 Blitz tonight at 11. What do we have tonight, Dan?
We have Sunset hosting Westview, and they're jockeying for second place in the Metro League behind Jesuit. Kind of like Kelly and Bruce are currently battling for second behind the Jesuit of our anchor pick'em team. That would be Jeff Gianola. So you guys got to make your move now. If
Bruce, I'll let you go first,
Well,
Bruce.
actually, I want you to go first because I got to pick the opposite of what you do.
Okay, and Kelly's not here, so Kelly and I will take Westview.
All right, you
yes.
got Westview.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm going for Sunset. It is my chance. Come on, Sunset. Let's do it tonight.
Okay, that's going to be a toss-up. Okay, how about the weather tonight?
Yeah, you know what? It is going to be a chilly night. We're going to possibly have some drizzle. We'll have some drizzle at times as we go through the day tomorrow, especially in the morning. Right now, it looks like early next week is sunny, and then Halloween is mostly dry.
Mostly dry for Halloween. And Bruce, something else. Tomorrow early, it's game day.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN broadcasting from Eugene. For a lot of folks who'll be going down there live for game day.
Right.
What will it be? Foggy, won't
some
it?
patchy fog on the drive down, and drizzle is likely when you get there.
Okay, the CBS Evening News coming your way next. We'll be back at 11 tonight. Of course, Dan will have all the highlights. Take care, everyone. We'll see you then.